this debt ceiling don't get passed, expect chaos. Expect the stores to be empty.
Should you be selling your silver? We're going to cover that in this video. Also, remember the last time we had a debt ceiling crisis? Can we look forward to the same performance from silver and gold? I'll remind you, silver hit $48 and gold hit an all-time high. We're going to talk about that, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. We have several other fascinating subjects to cover that will impact the price of silver and gold in the coming weeks and months. And we're going to cover all of that with our great friend, Coin Shop Chris, who's kindly agreed to join us again. Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
Well, Ron, I'm starting to be a natural inside the basement here.
You know, so you're always welcome
good
here.
To be back.
Well, the Bears are always glad to see you. What do you make of the price action in silver and gold last week? What should people be thinking?
Getting more, a lot more if they can afford it. I've seen a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, I guess that's a bad word, but a few more people coming in to sell. Selling for Bitcoin, dumb move. Sorry. I mean, that's, you know, I heard that twice this week.
So Chris, I'm going to have to bust your chops on something here. We never say buy silver or gold, and we never say sell it either, right? We're converting, right?
We are converting, yes, sir.
So people are actually converting their silver back to paper. That seems crazy, crazy. I guess they must need the money for some reason.
Well, like I said, I heard twice this week. They want out of the precious metals and they want to go to Bitcoin.
Wow.
If you want to run down the numbers real quick, I'll be happy to give you the last 30 days you're on.
Yeah, let's run through that. And then I want to get to some interesting stuff going on with the Fed, but let's hear what the last 30 days look like.
Yeah, the last 30 days silver was down $1.31 or 5.17%. Gold was down $25.70 or 1.28%. Bitcoin was down 3,522.98 or 11.59%.
Wow, Bitcoin dropped 11%.
Almost over 11.5%. Right. I'm trying to figure out why people are trying to get out of metals and go into Bitcoin. Hello. I mean, I don't get it, Ron.
Well, yeah, let's trade something real for something imaginary. We'll leave it at that. You know, this week there were certain points where it felt like a very difficult week for the precious metals. Gold had a couple days where it dropped rather large amounts, but when you look back 30 days from the data you showed us, it's not too bad. But what are we learning from the Fed? I mean, I kind of dug into that this week. The Fed governors, it was like they rolled out the clown show this week, and all these Fed governors were out speaking rather hawkishly. And of course, that made the US dollar go up, and that hurt the price of the metals. But you know, Chris, isn't it true? Talk is cheap. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, never mind a clown show. I think they were out the damn circus, Ron. I mean, you know, they're all talk. I really think we're going to see a pause this week. I mean, next meeting here, we can't keep raising rates. We just can't do it. The banks can't handle it. The people can't handle it. I mean, who can afford $1,000 payment on a car? I mean,
right.
An average car, $1,000. I mean, and that's with pretty good credit too.
Yep. And the economy's slowing. We had news this week. I think we got what I thought was some big news out of Home Depot. I mean, what is that telling us, right? Home Depot sales dropped like much more. It kind of shocked the market. I mean, to me, that's a real like bellwether for how the economy is going. And they reported numbers that were much less than what the market had anticipated. I mean, as this economy contracts, the Fed's going to be forced to either let things crash or loosen up monetary policy. And we know what the path of least resistance will be.
Well, here's the thing on that. The stimulus checks are gone. People have spent their stimulus money, or just about. People are losing jobs. People really need of fixing up the things in the homes. I
Mhm.
mean, you gotta look at that over the last couple of years with the stimulus to pay out there, and it's used up. Where did the money go? Did it go? Are people losing their jobs and they don't have the extra income to fix? They letting stuff slide or getting by to fix up the stuff in the homes. That's what it's telling me.
It's
I
a
mean,
confluence of factors, like a coming together, right? Losing jobs, having eat through savings. What does the fact that this week we also learned that there's record level of consumer debt right now, what is that telling us?
it tells me people don't have the money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, credit card debt is through the roof. People are living on credit cards. People are living on, these buy now, pay later programs. We've talked about this numerous times. When we go out to eat, which I don't do much of, but when you go to the store, how many do we actually see paying cash? And the people in front of us, that's what we need to pay attention to, is how many people in front of us actually paying cash are going to the express do-it-yourself checkout lines and paying with a credit card.
Because they don't have cash, they don't have savings, they're using their credit card. We have record credit card debt, and there's a kicker on top of that, Chris. Can you guess what it is? Or do you want me to tell you?
Go ahead and tell me, sir.
The interest rates on the credit card debt are also at or near all-time highs. I think the average credit card interest rate right now is 20%. So not only are people racking up all this debt with money they don't have, but now they're getting further and further and further in the hole with super high interest rates. Another thing we can touch on in that regard, which is also really scary for the economy, and will lead to the Fed needing to loosen up, is the fact that companies, mid-sized companies, large companies, any of these companies, there's a lot of zombie companies out there that were living off of the low interest rate environment we had for so many years. They're not solvent in the current interest rate environment. Not to mention, as we know, what's going on with the banks. I mean, is this just doom and gloom everywhere we look, Chris?
No, some people tell it doom and gloom. I've seen some of the comments. No, we tell the truth on this channel.
Yeah.
On the credit cards, the only piece of this, not financial advice, so please don't take this as financial advice. If anybody's in credit card debt, look for, as long as you're making your minimum payments, I would look online and look for another credit card and see if you can do a balance transfer. It might cost you 5% or so, but that might give you 12 months, 18 months of financing, free financing with 0%, and you can pay a little bit more than the minimum balance. Be your own bank. You kick the can down the road now. I mean,
Right.
the government's doing it. Why can't we?
Yeah, right. Well, the government can have unlimited money printed up. Speaking of all the people that are watching us right now, I think we want to remind them to please give this a thumbs up if you would. That helps get the word out to more people. And you can always subscribe to Ron's Basement. Join Coin Shop Chris and I on a weekly basis. It's free to subscribe.
And let's try to get to 50,000 subscribers by February 2024. That is Ron's goal. Let's help Ron out. We can get this done. We are a group of over 21,000 people now. And 99.9% of your viewers are good people, Ron.
First Mining Gold is a development company advancing two of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has zero debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects.
Chris, what do we think is going to happen if this debt ceiling situation does not get resolved. I think the odds are that it will get resolved, but it's a lot of hanky panky back and forth seems like going on. Today they kind of stormed out of the meetings, from what I understand, and said there's still a long way to go. Last time we went through this, just to remind the viewers, 2011, silver went to $48, gold went to an all-time high. Do you have any thoughts? I know, Chris, that you love the politicians in Washington. Do you have any thoughts on what's going on there and how that might impact the precious metals markets?
Well, you're joking. I love the politicians. But anyways, yeah, silver and gold, to answer your second question here first, silver and gold are going to go to the roof. How much? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. We can pick a number out of a hat, and, I think we're going to see gold at all-time highs. I think once we get past 30 in silver, it's not stopping.
85.
Yeah, it's probably not. It might not even stop there on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, my guess. What's going to happen? I think you're going to see banks collapsing. I think you're not going to be able to get credit. Even if you want credit, you're not going to be able to get it. I still recommend that movie, Too Big to Fail. The one on the Amazon, the one with the government check on it. If people have not watched that movie, it's worth the $3 to download that movie for 24 hours or whatever, 48 hours, and watch that movie, because credit will freeze, and when credit freezes, business stops.
Yeah,
because every business is on credit. When Walmart buys something, when Target buys something, a big purchase order, they normally have it on credit for 90 days. They got 90 days to pay with no interest. And
the car dealerships finance their inventory, and we're already seeing a pretty serious credit contraction in this country. If the debt limit's not raised, and they're talking about economic catastrophe. I don't think the odds are that it's going to happen, but it's something we need to keep on our radar and realize that if it were to happen, we would likely be very happy that we're happier than we already are, that we're invested in precious metals.
Exactly. And if you go back like to 2008, look at the time frame when stuff happened. We had stuff happen about this time in 2008. Summer month was kind of a lull. Then in September of 2008, I believe it was, or maybe it was 2007, if I got my years right or wrong, we started crashing again.
Yeah.
We might see the same pattern set up. History kind of repeats itself, but not all in the same way. But I mean, the pattern is setting up where we could see a kind of lull this summer. And history says silver and gold kind of go down the summer months. That's history now. This time, I think we're going to kind of flatline. I mean, we may bounce $1 or $2 here and there, but I think we're going to pretty much, if we don't see something major happen, we're going to probably be around this price range all summer long.
For silver and gold?
For silver and gold, and this may be our last opportunity over the next 3 or 4 months to get as much as we can get.
Yeah.
No one has a crystal ball. I cannot,
Buddy Rumble has a crystal ball.
Well, I really hope Buddy's right. I really do hope so. I mean, because that's, if you look at if people know how to read the charts, if you go by the charts, that's a good sign of what's coming next.
Yeah.
Not always. I can't think of the guy's name. He was on Liberty and Finance a few weeks back ago. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's an older gentleman, and he's
Ron from Ron's basement.
No, sir.
What are you laughing at, Chris? There's your laugh. Well, hey, let me ask you this. Let me ask your opinion on this. It dawned on me earlier in the week, with everything going on in the world, with the situation that the United States seems to be in, that it feels like the U.S. economy is like a person who went on a weekend trip to Las Vegas paid for it on their credit cards, got all drunked up, lost a bunch of money gambling, and is right now waking up on Sunday morning. Maybe still a little buzzed from the weekend, but reality's starting to set in. Chris, do you think that I painted a good analogy when I said that?
Yeah, we're pretty much hanging by a thread now.
Yeah.
That's how I view it too. I mean, this debt ceiling don't get passed, expect chaos. Expect the stores to be empty. Expect the stores to act like a Black Friday until it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to see that happen, but if you need something now, you've been putting it off, go grab it up. Even if you don't need it quite yet, if something's going in your house, like a small appliance, grab it up.
Right. Right.
That's all I can say, Ron. I mean, I just hope this gets passed, and I think it will get passed. I think you're going to see something on the 11th hour, and they're going to strike a deal. The Democrats and Republicans are playing their game like they always do.
Yeah, they're playing their game. I heard Peter Schiff say that, and I need to repeat this. He brought up a great point. He said, it's like they're acting like it's a crisis if they don't raise the debt ceiling, right? It's all over the mainstream news. Oh, it's going to be a crisis. It's blah, blah, blah. He's like, the real crisis is the fact that they have raised the debt limit so many times over the last number of years, putting us in the position that we now find ourselves, which is very precarious here in the United States, financially speaking.
Well, pretty soon they're not going to be able to kick the can down the road, because the next thing on that road is a major hill. They're not going to be able to push that can up the hill.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I
just hope. Go ahead, sir.
I said, well, do you think people that are invested in precious metals can take some solace, take some comfort, is maybe a better word, in knowing that they have taken some material steps to protect themselves and protect their families?
The people who have precious metals will do very, very well.
Yeah.
Maybe not getting rich. I'm not claiming that, but it's like Pat said the other day on one of your live streams. It might come down to be as survival. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm not saying we're going to get hit by a meteorite or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if the dollar collapses, what are we going to use? What are we going to use?
Right. Right.
I mean, that's all I'm trying to wake people up. And, and most people on your channel are awake, and they understand what I'm saying, and they understand what you've said, Pat said, Buddy have said. It's the people that live in La La Land and don't care what's going on. Those are the ones we need to worry about.
Yeah. At minimum, it's a good insurance policy.
That's
Chris,
what it is.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. That's what it is, Ron. It's an insurance policy. We all need car insurance if we drive a car. You hope you don't need it, but if you have to have it. So when you do need to use it, you're glad you do have it.
Yes.
And that's all I gotta say. I mean, and I'll say I did buy some more First Mining Gold too. So
yeah, you were telling me you like Dan Wilton, the CEO. You think fondly of him, huh?
I really like the guy. I've had some First Mining Gold before you even got sponsored by First Mining Gold. Mm-hmm. You did a webinar. If anybody's interested in that, please do your research. Watch the webinar. It's about an hour long. I know it's a little long, but it may be worth your time. It's cheap right now. It's about 13 cents a share. But I tell you, it might be the best bang for your buck right now. It's better than going to blow $100 at a casino. Why not take a chance with a mining stock?
That's right.
I mean, and if it does go, if it doesn't plan as well as we all think it's going to, I don't have a lot of, Ron, you know me, I'm a big believer. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. But you can't put, I come to the sense that you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
So,
No, diversify. But you know, if you're a holder of precious metals, it doesn't hurt to put some money into precious metal mining stocks as well, because they do offer the potential for some exciting return. Chris, on behalf of all the viewers, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you having me on once a week. And I want to thank all your viewers for listening to my voice every week. And just everybody just be well. If you got any questions for me personally, send Ron an email. Ron will be happy to give you my email address, and I'll try to help you as best as I can.
Yeah, and I can vouch that he will. Chris has helped a lot of people. And hey, guys, if you want to hear more up-to-date, even more up-to-date news, we're going to put a link right here to the most recent live stream. Chris, take care, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, Ron. We will see you soon. We'll talk to you next week, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.